This video goes out to all the Zoomers out there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sad to report that it looks like TikTok may be getting banned in the United States. And what are the implications of that? Well, if you ask me, this 11th hour attempt to save TikTok by Microsoft may just be enough to keep the app here in the United States. But it raises a bigger question about cybersecurity anyway. Part of the argument is that China is using TikTok to steal data from the Americans. So are all the major American corporations. And I suppose if we approach this from a patriotic standpoint, if anybody's stealing my data, I want it to be an American company, which is a really sad thing to say. But also, it's true? I don't know. I mean, the idea that walking around with one of these, right, the smartphone, a good friend of mine kind of put it well when we were talking about privacy. Back when, you know how it always seems like, oh, I was talking about sausage makers, and then all of a sudden I was getting sausage maker ads on Amazon. How did that happen? I never Googled it. Right? All of us have had this experience. And it kind of generally goes back to, oh, well, the cell phones are listening at all times and this data's. It probably is, right? It probably is. So if you're willingly using a smartphone, if you're worried about real privacy, go back to like a flip phone. Honestly. That's the only real way to get any kind of level of step forward towards, protecting your information. Whether it's TikTok stealing your data or it's, Facebook or Twitter, they're all doing it. Samsung, the producer of this phone, is doing it. Verizon's doing it. The US government's doing it. So what makes TikTok special? Well, look, far be it for me to have any problem at all sticking it to China. And if that's what this is really about, I think I'm more supportive. But when we look at the reporting, this is via Deserto. Actually, let's start with the news, the boomer news. So President Donald Trump said on Friday, he told reporters that he will act as soon as Saturday to ban the Chinese-owned video app TikTok from the United States. Trump did not specify whether he will act through executive order or another method such as designation, according to the NBC News. Trump's comments come as it was reported Friday that Microsoft had held talks to buy TikTok video sharing app from the Chinese owner BitDance. Well, they're not looking to buy it. They're looking to buy U.S. operations. It's more complicated than that. President Donald Trump on Friday told reporters that he will act as soon as Saturday to ban the Chinese-owned video app TikTok from the United States. Trump made comments while chatting with reporters on Air Force One during the flight back from Washington to Florida. As far as TikTok is concerned, we're banning it from the United States, Trump said, calling an action a severance. Trump did not specify how he will act. Well, I have that authority. I can do it with executive order or that, Trump said. A TikTok spokesperson told the United States that the app helped create jobs across the United States and was committed to user privacy. Yeah, okay. We've hired nearly 1,000 people to our U.S. team this alone. Big whoop. And are proud to be hiring another 10,000 into great paying jobs across the U.S. Okay, well, that's a number. Our $1 billion creator fund supports U.S. creators who are building livelihoods from our platforms. TikTok U.S. data storage is stored in the United States with strict control on employee access. The statement said TikTok's bigger investors come from the U.S. We are committed to protecting our users' privacy, safety as we continue working to bring joy to the families and meaningful careers for those who create on our platform. Now, TikTok, as far as I can tell, isn't exactly held in high regard in terms of not just data security, but also like the content that is getting produced on the platform. If I bring up the TikTok official Twitter, they put out, 5 hours ago, TikTok banned in the USA by Trump starting today. 1 hour ago, TikTok saved because Microsoft bought it. 3 minutes ago, TikTok CEO, we're not going anywhere. It's interesting to me. TikTok general manager Vanessa Pappas responded to President Trump's, we're not planning on going anywhere. Well, I don't know if I would be antagonizing him, especially now. But if you look at this, they put out this tweet, which is, kind of hilarious. If you look at the responses, they're basically getting BTFO'd. As a Republican, I've supported Trump through and through, but funny enough, this was the thing that tipped me over. Really? I mean, are you really fishing for Orange Man bad in this tweet? You fail to monitor content and Orange Man, keep everyone safe. Too much exploitation. The app is unsafe. The Chinese government has access to nearly every device with the app installed. Unfortunately, this is a threat to national security for many nations, not just the U.S. It's not just fun and games. I mean, it's interesting to me that a lot of people, I don't think it's fair to act like TikTok is suddenly far more unsafe than Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. All these things have predatory issues. They have content that I would say caters to creeps, and none of them do a good job backing your safety. TikTok, I think, if we look at why they're really doing it, I think this is just a move to spite China. The Chinese company ByteDance launched TikTok in 2017. The app has grown more popular during lockdown with 2 billion downloads in April. ByteDance investors seeking to take over TikTok have valued it at $50 billion. Microsoft has declined to comment on the talks, which were first reported by Fox Business Network. The rise of TikTok in the United States has prompted the Trump administration to scrutinize the app. Trump said earlier on Friday that the administration was looking at various options for what to do with TikTok, including banning the app. Again, why? Earlier this month, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the U.S. was looking at banning TikTok as well as other Chinese social media apps, citing national security concerns. Pompeo added that the Trump administration was elevating TikTok akin to the Chinese-backed tech groups Huawei and ZTE, as which he previously described Trojan horses for Chinese intelligence. You know what I would absolutely get behind? A single tweet that reads, until China stops doing what they're doing with the Muslim population in China, TikTok will not be allowed in the United States. And then just watch, right? All these little 9-year-olds that are booty dancing on TikTok for internet clout or whatever, suddenly will have to figure out what's going on with the Uyghur Muslim situation in China. Suddenly China would have to address it. And at such a moment in which they stop doing what they're doing, the app will remain banned. I think nearly everyone would get behind that. And if they don't, well, you got to fix your priorities in life. Now, U.S. officials have long complained that Chinese intellectual property theft has cost the economy billions of dollars in revenue and thousands of jobs, threaten national security. Beijing maintains that they do not engage in intellectual property theft. Of course they do. The move from the Trump administration represents another step in deteriorating relations between Washington and Beijing, and comes a week after the U.S. closed a Chinese consulate in Houston, prompting China to shutter the U.S. consulate in Chengdu. Fine. I think if we can decouple, if we can find a way to decouple from China in as many ways as possible, I 100% support this. People don't look long-term at what this type of relationship means and the type of people that you're doing business with. Now, in the 11th hour, ByteDance reported reaches a deal to sell TikTok to American operations. What they want to do is still have access to your data, but say they don't own it, essentially. TikTok parent company ByteDance has reportedly agreed to sell its American operations to prevent the Trump administration from banning it in the United States. It was not clear Saturday how the deal would involve Microsoft or whether it would stave off a ban, but Reuters reported Microsoft would be in charge of protecting U.S. data, and the plan would allow other American companies to take over TikTok in the United States. The administration has been threatened to ban the video sharing app for several weeks. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, a ban of something we're looking at. President Trump said on Friday, we're banning it from the United States. but didn't provide specifics other than he planned to take action on early Saturday. Well, it's 11 o'clock. The app is still out there. Last month, TikTok users and K-pop fans encouraged followers to buy tickets to Trump's rally in Tulsa but not show up. Trump, he's just as salty about that literally could be in the back of his mind as to why he wants to ban it. I wouldn't be surprised. But, however you get to the end, I think the big picture is protecting America's youth from predators on these apps, and having stricter laws around data security is something that we should be looking at wholesale across all platforms, not just the Chinese-owned ones, because Facebook is selling your data, Twitter's selling your data, Firefox is selling your data, everybody's selling it, and at no point did we agree to that, except buried deep somewhere in the terms of service. If you look at what's going on in Capitol Hill right now, we have like Jack Conte and other CEOs from Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, I think Microsoft, Google, and all of them have the same slippery, slimy answer about what they do with data, how they protect your data. Well, ultimately, maybe just the threat of this is enough. I mean, if we can force them to sell it to an American company, maybe, then we can better tax the revenue. That money generates a lot of taxes. That acquisition generates a lot of American jobs. Maybe that's a win-win. But then again, I'm still depending on the same people that allow our data to be sold from every major Silicon Valley company there is, issuing meaningless $50 million fines, $100 million fines here and there. They don't care. Google gets fined like hundreds of millions of dollars every year in the EU for data breach stuff. They don't care. They continue to operate there, and they continue to do so with impunity. Until we get some teeth around data protection, I'm not sure I buy this as anything more than a political move, but I've got to admit, I won't shed a tear that it's gone. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.